What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. We have something very exciting for you today. We have the Xiaomi 11T smartphone. This has a lot of cool stuff going on for it, and I'm walking away very, very impressed with this phone overall. Let's just talk about some of the key features about this phone. So first of all, you're gonna get a 108 megapixel pro grade camera, ultra wide, and a telemacro lens. You also get the flagship MediaTek Dimensity 1200 Ultra processor. It's a 6 nanometer processor with dual 5G up to 3 gigahertz. The display on here is 120 hertz adaptive sync AMOLED display. Speakers, Dolby Atmos, and it is stereo speakers. And then lastly, you get 67 watt fast charging wired. Long-lasting 5,000 milliamp battery as well. So you're getting a beast of a phone overall. Now it does come with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and you can get this in flavors of 128 gigabytes of storage or 256 gigabytes of storage. This personally is the 128. Now inside the box here, what you get is you get a bendy plastic case. I love when manufacturers do this. So you get it right there. So if you having trouble finding the case, especially if you're in America or something, you at least right off the bat, you're going to get a case. And then also in here, since this is the international version of the phone, you do get your 67 watt charger, which is absolutely humongous, very, very big charger. You can get an adapter if you do import this phone and get like an American plug at the, so you can adapt that in, and then you get a USB-C cable. Now the phone is made of plastic, which is good in a way for most people. Does it feel a little bit cheap? Yeah, because it's plastic, but you don't have to worry about really anything with this phone. It's a little bit lighter because it is plastic. And then also, you drop it on the back, you shouldn't have to worry too much about cracking it, unless you really ram it down somewhere. But I'm not against plastic phones. Some people are. I'm not so much. You see the camera right there, what that looks like. At the top, you get a speaker. On the right-hand side, you get a power button up and down, and then you also get you get your volume keys up and down, and then you get your power button, which also acts as a fingerprint sensor, and it works very, very well. You can see, just to show you, unlocks that phone very, very quick. So fingerprint sensor, side mounted, works excellent. You also get a speaker at the bottom and USB-C charging, and on the left side, nothing really. So that's the look of the phone. Now, this display is a 1080p plus 120 hertz display, and it gets nice and bright. I have it at about 50%. It gets up to 800 nits, all the way up to 1,000 in peak settings of brightness. So you get a very, very nice display. It runs Android 11, so you're getting one of the latest Androids on here. You don't have to worry about anything, being too far behind. These are your quick toggles, just what you would expect. Home screen, when you swipe over, you do get your Google feed. I love the Google feed, so you get that. You can click in here and read an article. Maybe you want to read about Carson Wentz. You can see how quick the phone is. That's one of the great things about this phone is it is extremely fast. I've dealt with MediaTek processors in the past. This one is awesome. It performs really, really, really good. I ran a Geekbench score on this earlier, and it did pretty good. At least I think. I'm not a huge Geekbench person, but just to show you what it got a single core score of 871 and a multi-core score of 2929. Now, if you have a Snapdragon 888 or something like that, you might beat that, or whatever. But ultimately, just performance alone, I walk away very impressed with the performance of the phone. Everything is very, very snappy. Whatever you're doing in here, it just works fantastic. So very, very happy with that. If you've dealt with these kind of phones in the past, maybe you had some issues, but none at all on here. It just is so nice. One of the things I noticed too, when I come into like multi-window, for instance, so I'm gonna do split screen here. This is actually one of the smoothest implementations of multi-window that I have ever dealt with on an Android phone. It's just super buttery smooth. Very, very happy with just how great this phone runs overall. Better than I expected, for sure. And maybe it's definitely the best running Xiaomi phone I've personally ever had. A very, very, very good MediaTek processor. Here's the speakers. They are stereo speakers, like I mentioned earlier, and also They have Dolby Atmos, which I do have turned on. So let's just play some music on here. So you can see nice bass, nice volume. Here we go, put this video on. One of them is like why you should upgrade. The other one is storage amounts. And then we also have a bunch of questions which are all about the Galaxy phone for the most part. With that said, let's jump into the stories about the new iPhone 13. So if you remember, the 13 series is going to have speakers
are
changes with it. Very awesome. Like, I mean, not the best I ever heard, maybe not the best, but they sound very clear. The volume is good, the bass is good. So just awesome overall. Now, this is a 1080p plus display, and you can see it looks good. The colors are nice. They're accurate looking. The brightness is fine. Another great thing about that phone is that you're going to get some beautiful, beautiful images and beautiful sound overall. And then here's just some nature photography that I'm, going to bring up on Instagram so you can get a better idea what this will look like in here in terms of the display. So extremely happy. It's really difficult so far to find anything wrong with this phone. And to go back to performance a little bit, this phone does tend to get a little bit hot. I haven't really done too much with this phone thus far, and it's already starting to get, I can feel it getting hot, more so than what if I just use a Galaxy Z Fold 3 or something. So be forewarned that this might get a little, warm. It's got some big time cameras on here. So the rear camera setup is 108 megapixel, 8 megapixel, and 5 megapixel. So you get that triple camera setup. And then on the front camera here, you're gonna end up getting is 16 megapixels. Let me just open up the camera app real quick so you can see some of the features that you get. You get your Pro mode, so you can go in there and pretty much change whatever you want. You got your video, and video on here. With the back camera, you can shoot up to 4K. On the front camera, you can shoot up to 1080. You got your photo modes, you got your portrait, more, and then you have tons of other features in here from night mode, 108 megapixel, short video, you got vlogging mode, panorama, slow motion, movie effect. When you're in photo mode, actually, let me just show you how much of a zoom you got. So you see you got 10x zoom. Oh, probably won't go on. There you go. Look at my fingernail. You can see nice and clear. So what we'll do now is show you off some of the videos and photos that I captured with this phone. Here's the front camera on the Xiaomi 11T. Remember, this only records in 1080, so it's a little bit of a letdown at 1080 because if you wanted 4K, it doesn't have it on the front camera, it does on the back. But again, this is the front camera, so let's just walk around just a second so you can see how this looks. Looks pretty good on the display right now. This is the ultra wide camera. This only records in 1080p as well on the ultra wide back camera, the rear camera. So if you wanted 4K ultra wide, you're not going to get it, but still, at least you get an ultra wide on here, right? Something. Can't have everything, can you? And then here you go with the back camera, the main camera. This is shooting in 4K 30, and this is what it looks like. This is what it sounds like. Tell me in the comments down below which one looks best. Hopefully this one does, right? Come on. Another thing to really love about this phone is the software. So there's a ton of things to do on here to customize. You can see you get wallpapers, obviously, that you can come in here and download. But then you also got Down here, you can see you get themes, so you can download different themes like you could on, like, say, a Samsung phone. Very, very nice to easily and quickly change the icons and the backgrounds and all of that stuff. You have your ringtones, just quick downloads, so you don't have to download certain apps or anything like that. Always on display, you can change that, the look of that, and the notification effects. You can see, very, very cool. You can turn on double tap to wake or turn on your screen, raise to wake. You also have special features, which in here, you can go into game turbo, so make you basically have amazing game performance. You got your video toolbox, which I just went in there twice. You have, one sec, floating windows. So when you get notifications, you can pull down floating windows, second space, light mode. So there's a lot of customizations and things to come in here. Really, really nice software implementation. So the Xiaomi 11T is a really, really, really good phone in my eyes. You get a great screen, you get great speakers, you get great performance. The cameras are good. It's lightweight for the most part. The internals are good. I mean, it does get a little hot. That would definitely take away points from that, is that, it hasn't overheated on me per se, but it does get warm to the touch where you can feel it getting warm, even though I haven't done anything that crazy on this phone. The charging is crazy fast. You're gonna get really, really fast charging, up to 67 watts, so you can charge this basically less than an hour. The battery's big, 5,000 milliamps. You're not gonna get any water resistance, and so, if that's a game breaker, dust and water resistance, you probably won't want that. You're not gonna get wireless charging with this either. But you know what? Other than that, you're getting a damn good phone. So if you can take away some of the things that are missing, such as the things that I just said, then I think you're in for a real treat with this phone. Check it out, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you down the road.